Good evening, everybody. I'm President of Council David Appelbaum. Welcome to Council meeting June the 2nd, 2026. I would like us to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're wearing a hat, please take it off unless you're military. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please, either the manager or Catherine?
Mr. Appelbaum,
I am here.
Ms. Scherer,
Present.
Mr. Menzel,
Here.
Ms. Howlett,
Here.
Mr. Goldstein,
Here.
Mr. Woodring,
Here.
Ms. Segal-Morris.
Out. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, everyone. We are now going to move on to community announcements from the table. Anybody? Okay, no one's jumping? Am I? Okay, anyone from the audience have a community announcement?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Can I go
okay,
back?
coming back to the table, yes.
There will be a Juneteenth celebration on June 19th, I believe at 6 p.m. at Buttonwood Park.
Okay, so that has moved to Buttonwood Park as well?
I thought so, yeah.
Thought it was out front.
No, it's
No,
out front. I'm the worst.
It's okay, that's why I'm clarifying.
Okay, out front, it's this building.
And it's at what time?
I thought it was at 6, but let me double
Okay,
check.
thank you very much. And, okay, I don't know if this is a public comment or not, but I just, well, no, I think, sorry, not public comment, community announcement. You know what, I'll wait till the end. Forgive me. Let's move on to public comment. This is your opportunity as public to discuss things that are not on the agenda. Please come up to the podium. I would ask you to not more than 3 minutes, and I'd like to ask for decorum throughout. So anyone have a public comment? It's not, you don't have to. It's just, I'm asking you. All right, well, thank you and welcome, and the floor is yours.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. The purpose of Yardley Borough Council meetings are to conduct the legislative, executive, and fiscal business of the borough. Utilizing community announcements portion of council meetings to solicit funds, market, and promote specific nonprofit events repeatedly violates meeting decorum and opens the borough up to legal liability by setting a precedent that requires the borough to grant equal time to every other business. You're not only permitting fundraising and marketing from the podium, but at the last meeting you allowed an entire costume performance to promote a specific business event for almost 10 minutes. While the Sunshine Act guarantees citizens the right to comment on municipal issues, it does not give outside organizations an inherent right to use municipal time to advertise private ventures, even if they're nonprofit. Additionally, Councilwoman Howlett is compounding the problem by promoting her own church and soliciting funds for a joint venture event between the two organizations. This is a conflict of interest and completely irrelevant to the council agenda. Yardley Borough has serious government issues that need to be addressed. A lot of people watch these meetings online and they want answers. You are neglecting important government business. For example, at the May 19th council meeting, council members were supposed to vote to amend ordinance number 498 regarding Yardley's general obligation note in the amount of $1,700,000. This ordinance vote wasn't listed on the meeting agenda and did not take place. The vote to amend the ordinance at the May 19th council meeting was advertised in a lengthy public notice in the Courier-Times. The cost to advertise and pay the solicitor to review the ordinance, I guess, was just wasted money. You didn't have time to discuss an ordinance that has to do with significant funding. Instead, you took considerable time to read and vote on a symbolic, hate-filled, anti-government resolution that has nothing to do with Yardley Borough business, when you should have been reading and voting on the proposed $1,700,000 ordinance. You are going to be voting on raising our taxes by implementing the earned income tax. Businesses are already leaving because of the proposed EIT. Yet, you have not provided a timeline or schedule of meetings, and you ignored the suggestion for residents to participate in a working group on the issue. When asked, you told the resident to contact you privately. Raising our taxes and government issues are supposed to be addressed in public. Really, stop holding closed-door meetings to cover up problems like this. And frankly, it would be nice if council members got off their cell phones and laptops long enough to listen to citizens' concerns during the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. And perfect timing. And thank you for your comments. And I'll just one response very quickly, and that is just to hearing our residents' concerns. I always make it known that I am available for appointments. My email is available on our website. Just send me a note asking to meet, and we can come up with a time, and I'll be happy to talk about or address concerns. Thank you very much. Any other public comments? Mr. Hoffelder.
I just want to talk about the EIT. People are asking me about it like I'm an expert on it when I'm walking on the street. What is the timeline? We discussed this back at the beginning of May, and now there's been no other talk about it. And a lot of people are concerned about it. All my neighbors are concerned about it, and I talked to some business people in Yardley who are concerned about it. So if you could give us a timeline, when are you actually going to propose this and discuss it and vote on it? That would be appreciated. And one other thing, I just like to compliment Councilwoman Scher for last time for being the lone no vote in that ridiculous resolution. It takes a lot of guts to stand up against the crowd, the mob, because I do that a lot. And there's always pressure to vote with the group, and even go against what you're really feeling. So I just want to show my appreciation for that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comment tonight? Okay, I'm sorry. You have a comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the EIT vote will be in fall 2026. That's what we've put on the FAQ document. We've been saying that since, I think we've been talking about it in the second meeting of February, because that's when we would need to make a decision.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification. Seeing no other community announcements, public comment. See what happens when I don't have a computer? It's like, anyway, we're going to move on to consideration of consent agenda dated June 2nd, 2026. We have 5 different things that we will vote on. We will vote on them together unless someone asks me to remove one of the 5. A is the approval of minutes dated May 19th, 2026. B is the certificate of appropriateness 26-08 fence-146 South Main Street. C is the certificate of appropriateness 2610- fence-40 South Canal Street. D is certificate of appropriateness 26-11 porch roof-113 South Main Street. Can you get the door, please? No, I'm just kidding you. And finally, E, the event permit for Juneteenth 2026. That would be June 19th at the front of Borough Hall. Does anyone wish for me to remove anything from that consent agenda? I don't see any discussion on that, so I will ask for a motion to vote on all 5. Who said it?
Second.
Okay, thank you. And so Mr. Menzel has made a motion, and Ms. Scherer made a second. Discussion from the table.
Just an addendum on Juneteenth at 6:30 p.m. in front of Borough Hall, not 6.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any other discussion? Discussion from the public?
We're not allowed to see the minutes until you vote on them. So I've looked at minutes from the prior meeting, the last ones that were posted, and I remember specifically from that meeting that Chief Golden was sworn in, and there was a promotion for an officer, and that all happened at the beginning of the meeting. However, the minutes reflect a completely different order. They literally do not reflect, and in fact, you had moved comments to the end, and the EIT presentation was moved, everything was moved around, but in the minutes, it looks exactly like it did on the agenda. So I don't know what your methodology is for that and what's allowed, but I always thought that the minutes had to reflect what actually happens and in the way that it happens. So I think that's been in probably all of the minutes that you've had, because, you know, you do move things around sometimes. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you. Any comment, Solicitor? Okay, no comment. All right, then. Thank you again for those comments. Okay. Well, does anyone else from the public have a comment regarding the consent agenda? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? And abstained? Okay, we have one absence, so it passes 601, correct? 6-0. Oh, you don't want, okay. Thank you. 6-0. All right, the finance report. This will be the consideration to accept the June 2nd, 2026 finance report. Everyone had a chance to review it. If there is no objections, I will accept that as consensus. Okay, that it has been moved. Thank you. All right. Mr. Chief. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome. Thank you again. For the month of May, the Yardley Borough Police Department conducted 876 calls for service. Out of those 876, 386 of those were proactive premise checks throughout the borough. We had issued one parking ticket for the month of May. We conducted 233 vehicle stops. Out of those 233 vehicle stops, we conducted and issued 84 traffic citations. We investigated 3 accidents. We had 1 arrest for DUI, 1 other arrest. And as you know, we had 3 big events here in the borough in the month of May with Carry the Load, Memorial Day, and the 5K. I would like to publicly thank all the officers and auxiliary officers for their effort and time into these events and making them a huge success. And a special thank you to Corporal Clark for his leadership in both organizing and proactively orchestrating all 3 of these events. Big shout out to him. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. All the hard work of the force is much appreciated. Manager's report.
We have a kickoff meeting for our comprehensive plan, which will take place this Wednesday. It was scheduled and advertised as required. Even though Catherine is helping tremendously with the right to knows, we are still extremely busy with the right to knows, and the amount of time is being put in because of the extensive content of the right to knows. We are fielding questions from resident and business owners about EIT, but I gotta say, once we explain everything, people are very agreeable and accepting. We are busy with Judy's Garden, as you will hear tonight. I want to give a big shout out to Akvila and the entire rec board. We had close to 600 runners for the run that just happened on Friday for the 5K. It was very well run, extremely successful. I've heard of no issues at all. Right to knows, like I keep saying, are increasing. We had, I believe, 8 for this month. Where there is an uptick in building and zoning for May as well. We had 12 applications for zoning, 10 for building and improvements, no zoning hearing board for May, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Manager. You speak of 8 right-to-know requests have been pulled. That doesn't, this is not judgment, just making a comment, that that doesn't give us a true impression of the costs. And I think, would you agree that it's labor intensive and taking away people from things that they need to do? Is that what you're saying? Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your report. Okay. Engineers report, please. Thank you, Mr. Foley.
Thank you. We issued our engineers report to council. I could give a quick update on North Main Street, Phase 3. The project has been progressing pretty rapidly now. Just spoke with our contractor this evening before the meeting. We're looking at trying to finish the concrete work this week, and then they'll be moving on to doing restoration work of grass areas, lawn areas, and whatnot. And then we're hoping in the middle of the month is to work on the asphalt. So it's progressing pretty quickly. Also, we have kicked off the roof project, and I've included a preliminary agenda, schedule in the council's, in my engineer's report for that. So we would be looking at working on our design in June, and we would then be, just progressing that as well, going out to bid in August and looking at contracts in September. Okay? So that's for the police department roof replacement. More importantly, that recently is our water, the grant we received for the drainage improvement project over at University Drive, as well as the Kramer lot. Another sinkhole has appeared. So I was discussing with Manager Johnson and the Public Works Committee tonight, is that we've completed our survey. We'll be coordinating with the Public Works group and Manager Johnson. We're going to be accelerating that design and trying to work on getting that out to bid at the end of this month. And then we would be looking at potentially an award, contract award during the July council meeting. Okay.
Is that, you have a question?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Doing the sinkholes, would that include the new one too? Or are you only
Yes.
working on the old?
Yeah, that's the portion of the existing pipe.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's pretty much, you could see the end of the recently replaced, and where this new sinkhole looks like it just happened downstream of what was repaired several years ago.
Okay.
So we're looking at repairing that and then cleaning out, downstream of that as well.
Okay, great.
Okay? You're welcome.
And Pat, can you give a general timeline on that we discussed earlier, just so people are aware with how we're tracking in terms of bidding and?
Yeah, but for that, as I indicated, I saw a draft base plan as our surveyors are currently finalizing that. Tonight, later on in the agenda, we're going to be requesting authorization to bid. But what we'll be looking at is advertising it. Right now, we've earmarked June 19th and June 22nd. I just need to review those dates with Manager Johnson. Our opening would be, we could stretch out the opening to be like 4 or 5 days before our council meeting, but our council meeting is on July 21st. The earliest we could open the bids is, I think, around July 10th, but we could add a few more days to that. For many of our projects, we've opened them up like the weekend before that. And then what takes a little bit of time is getting the contracts figured out. And so we're, just assuming a 3-week, contract, and we could issue out a notice to proceed is potentially mid-August to work on that, is what we're looking at right now. Okay.
Any other questions? Oh, Mayor?
I've been getting some questions about the Arley grant and specifically from residents of Yardley Commons and the crosswalk there. So I know we have sinkholes and a leaking roof, and we also have a funding gap on that those specific projects. But your engineer's report doesn't have any sort of timeline with regard to that. Do we have a ballpark timeline for that project? I know that it needs to be massaged and potentially rescoped, but.
We were talking with, at our Public Works Committee meeting this morning, earlier this morning, long day, we were looking at maybe trying to submit for an LSA grant for the engineering services this year. So that's what we were planning on, to work on some of the funding gap.
And what is the gap again? Do we know?
It's pretty significant.
Over 300, close to $400.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Was that your report, sir?
That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Solicitor?
I would just say we've been working closely with Pat's office. We've had a number of meetings to discuss the stormwater management projects. I know he's received the survey back earlier today, so we look forward to reviewing that, seeing the locations of the existing infrastructure, and then we'll do the work necessary to make sure that we have all easements in place.
Okay, anything else, sir?
No, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Mayor?
Just to piggyback off of Chief's report, I just want to acknowledge, if you all feel tired, it's because we've had a really significant month in the borough. It's only been 1 month to the day since Carry the Load on May 2nd. We had our flag fundraiser, Memorial Day observances, the Yardleyville Festival for America 250, the Parks and Recreation 5K and their 1 mile. Chief of Police was sworn in, Music Off Main started, and then we had our Pride celebration tonight and Pride crawls going on now. And many of these events had record attendance, surpassing in some cases double what we've had in previous years. I'm really proud of this community for showing up for these events, and I really feel energy here around what we're doing as a community, as a council. So I want to applaud all of you for the ways you've supported these events, and also, again, acknowledge the police presence at almost all of these events, and specifically the comments that I've received from event organizers at how warm and inclusive our police force is. They've truly been upholding their core values of integrity, loyalty, respect, and courage, and I'm very proud of them. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. And council member reports. Mr. Woodring.
So I guess I was going to do the agenda items later, so I guess I'll say no report for now, and we'll come.
Okay, no problem. Ms. Howlett?
Yeah, so I've been knocking on doors, doing EIT outreach in the last few weeks. So if you see me knocking on your door, that's why. And a big thank you to Jason, David, Jonathan, and Kim for coming with me. And Paul, Jason, and I will be at the farmers market on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Also answering questions about EIT or anything else that you'd like to talk to us about.
Thank you, and thank you so much for taking the lead on that. Ms. Scher?
Well, we continue with Music Off Main. Most of them are on Wednesdays, with the exception, I think there are 2 Saturdays. One in June will be June 13th. Otherwise, June 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, and July 1st.
Okay.
So we'll be busy with that. Juneteenth, of course, is June
19th?
19th, thank you.
No problem.
And Yardley Farmers Market is there every Saturday.
Okay.
Don't forget about them.
I will try not to. Okay, that concludes your report. Mr. Menzel, do you have a report?
I was just going to say, as part of the community outreach, I'll be at the farmers market with Jason and Martha to talk about the EIT, as well as answering any other questions that people have about the council.
Okay, thank you very much. And I will take the liberty of just speaking very quickly for a little report of my own. The mayor brought up some really good points about the growth of the events and trying to create a welcoming and fun destination for people. And yeah, I think I am. I think it's hitting me. I'm a little tired, and but that's a good tired, right? And I do thank the police and everyone who's been active. And tonight, that's why I'm a little bit, the mayor too, we're in our, to celebrate Pride Month. And it's been just as an example of an event that started off, fairly small and has morphed into this significant event that really shows our true colors as a town, and really is appreciated by all that live here, it seems, and those who visit. So thank you, Mayor, and everyone else who have been participating in organizing events, and to those people that are have nonprofits in town, the Gather Place, Experience Yardley, YBA, who, I'm sure I'm missing someone, but know that I do respect you and appreciate you. So that concludes my report. Discussion items, was there any, Manager Johnson? I don't know. Okay, no. All right, other business. We have 3 points here. A is an update, discussion, consideration on Judy's garden plans, budget and timing. An update, discussion, consideration of the Yardley Trailhead plans, budget, timing. Sounds like a lot of this is Public Works. And, what do you know? A discussion on the bid for the stormwater and drainage project, Kramer's Parking Lot, University Drive. I'm going to go out on a limb. Mr. Woodring?
Yes.
Am I right? All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, so if only for myself, just to get everybody up to speed, if folks are not, I myself have just become familiarized with the project in detail since taking a seat here, and have walked it various times. But there's been some work done, obviously, over the past couple years, and basically, per the sort of plans that have been pushed through, approved through zoning hearing board, there's kind of 2 chunks of work. For those that don't know the space, it's right down across from Yardley Friends Meeting in North Main. It's been donated in the late Judith Rutterow's name. The idea is a passive community space. But there's really 2 chunks of work. There's sort of this art piece with foundations, benches. Carolyn was kind enough to hook me up and the team up with Yardley Rotary, who's interested in donating some wildflowers to the cause, which has been cool. They've been very active and excited about getting involved. And so that's sort of one chunk. And then there's this sort of streamside deck with benches and a path then connecting these 2 things. So as Martha, Paula, and I were discussing, we thought, there's really these 2 pieces that if we could maybe parse them out a little bit. So what we were hoping to move forward with in the summer, fall, more on that later, was a little bit more of a phase 1, which is getting the art foundation built, a concrete foundation and pad, getting the statue transported down here and trying to get some of these wildflowers planted, as well as some seating area and benches installed. And I think 2 reasons to kind of scope that out. One, reasonable resident and borough and police hesitation around the streamside deck in terms of potential underage drinking, trash, noise, etc. Reason number 1. Reason number 2, it does sit in the floodplain down there, so it might get washed away, it might take a lot of maintenance. So from a budget perspective, I think we have, Martha, keep me honest, was about $7,500. Which we can, the art transport, the concrete foundation, and the wildflowers, and maybe even benches might be on the Yardley Rotary. So we were hoping to kind of push that forward here in the fall, only to know, and maybe others knew this, but not me, the complications regarding the sewer authority project that is going to be fairly lengthy. And by lengthy, we mean they're probably going to start in July and August, and it could be up to about a year until that work is done. I guess, what am I saying? I think just considering that we wanted to kind of bring everybody up to speed, let everybody know what was going on, answer any questions, thoughts, But ideally, we're starting to engage the Yardley Rotary team and get them going, start to kind of get through the benches and what those would look like and get some sponsors there. There's been some interest in people memorializing some of those benches. So anyway, I think I'll take questions or comments, but just wanted to kind of bring everybody up to speed. We were hoping to be able to move it forward a little bit more, but the sewer authority complication is very real, and from an order of operations perspective, doesn't make sense to do a ton in terms of bringing more forward at this point.
Anyone?
I have a question for Andrew. Does it violate the agreement with the landowner if we were to do it in phases?
No, so I think you're okay doing it in phases. The one thing I would say, though, is, the plan that was attached to the agenda packet, we will need a plan that has a formal zoning table on it, just to show compliance, and that's required pursuant to the restrictive covenant that was put in place to be on file at the borough office. Looking at this plan, it looks like we've actually reduced the scale from what was approved at zoning. So I don't see an issue with it from that standpoint. There's no issue with it as far as the restrictive covenant goes, because it did say that we could amend it in general conformity with this plan. But we need that zoning table and an actual zoning plan just to be on file and to show it. I would also just recommend, I don't know if anybody has a relationship with Mr. Rutterow, but just to make sure that he gets a chance to see it.
We were saying earlier.
Again, this is completely in line with what was proposed initially and actually scales it back, so I think it's fine. But I would want his input and just general sign-off on it.
Does anyone have, yeah, okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, would we like a meeting with Mr. Rutterow?
I think so. Maybe to bring him up to speed and let him know the progress that's been made and get his thoughts. The only other thing I think we didn't mention that came out of the Planning Commission, I guess, was as opposed to potentially steps on that steep grade with an ADA compliant access point, to move it a little bit more north where the grade is less severe and have an access, ADA compliant ramp coming down. So that's another potential consideration.
Yeah, and from a zoning standpoint, I don't see a problem with that. I think it's perfectly acceptable and in line with what was permitted.
Okay.
Yeah, Ms. Scherer?
The stream side deck, is that something that Mr. Rutterow asked for?
I am getting up to speed, so maybe Andrew and/or others might be able to comment. It does, well, before I comment, I don't know.
So I think Pat could probably speak to this a little more. I know, Ori, along with Mr. Rutterow, there was a discussion about it, and we did actually get zoning relief to allow that within the floodplain. But as a part of the zoning decision, there was just a general paragraph that said, we would do what we could to bring this into compliance with FEMA. And certainly this is a step that is appropriate, and it's in the same location, it's just pushed off a little bit. But how it actually got placed initially, I don't know, because the plans were just.
That deck was placed there based upon Mr. Rutterow's concept.
His desire was for the space to present opportunities for passive, tranquil, meditative time in a park, so seating and access to the water he wanted.
Okay, so maybe that becomes part of the discussion with him. I do think there's valid concerns around being in the floodplain, what might happen after hours there, et cetera, and the neighbors, some of whom I know, have also expressed potential concern with that.
He's a very reasonable
Reasonable.
gentleman, so yes.
So maybe that's a
Yeah.
good next step.
And I think the concept of it too, where you've placed it, obviously that area is subject to some flooding, so there are probably points in time where that is.
They showed us some videos when we were over there the other day. It gets.
So I would just coordinate with him.
Okay.
They do get heavy flooding in that
Yeah.
area on that street. My other question is more, I guess, for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Something like that, is that something that council should vote on, or it's just, as long as the resident wants it and it doesn't offend anything, then that's okay.
So I think the next step is to reach out to Mr. Rutterow, make sure we have his agreement to the change in the concept of the plan. Then at that point, I do think that we should do basically a vote to authorize Pat to prepare a formal zoning plan that just has that zoning table that shows that we're in compliance with the zoning decision and all other requirements. And then that'll be kept on file at the borough in compliance with the deed restriction.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Was there anyone else that had a comment? Yes, sir.
The $7,500 initial phase one, that would cover the cost of everything you explained in phase one, which was the pad site, as well as the steps going down and potentially a ramp?
Yes, so I believe.
No, probably
Not
not.
the ramp,
The
everything.
concrete
Or
pad,
maybe
right?
not even the steps.
It covers the concrete pad and the art transportation, and then leaves about, what did we say, 4,300?
Yeah, we
For
haven't
potential
gotten
walkway?
a quote on steps yet. But we have discussed applying for a DCNR grant to do more work with the site now that we have more time.
Yeah, I was just asking it because if you have the stuff set up down there and then you don't have access down to it, I'm just nervous about people trying to get down to it.
Make their own access.
Yeah, make their own access, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, it's a good call, and to Martha's point, there are grant dollars to be pursued.
Okay,
and-
great.
But yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I would also ask, at least to make a note, to ask Mr. Rutterow his opinion about the memorializing people on the benches that are not related to Judy.
Yep, that's
I
fair.
only bring that up not because I'm against it, I just
Makes
want to
sense.
make sure he's okay with that.
Yep, makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions on that project from anyone at the table? Any questions from the public? All right. Did you want to move on?
Sure. Okay, so Yardley Trailhead, not to be confused with the Pico lot.
I'm going to say.
So coming out of the comprehensive plan process 10 years ago, we're embarking on the next phase of planning, I would say, for this lot. So per the above in the packet, so the various drawings envision another sort of minimalist space to accommodate residents and visitors. So picnic tables, benches, trees, and what we're proposing as well as a bike repair station. What also has come into my purview, or someone had mentioned that it's the DCNR then needs to see and review these plans. Is that accurate? True? Yes?
Who's saying yes?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you are saying it.
Okay, so I wanted to kind of start to move that forward. I think this is another thing, again, that's tangible in front of us. Progress can be made.
And I'd also potentially get the Harvest Day Committee, or the Canal Committee to review.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the trees block where we currently park cars for Canal.
Okay, okay. So I guess it's my hope to get approval, whether it's here or the next meeting soon, to start to, make any necessary edits to the plans, to get to DCNR, to get this moving forward in the next couple months. Considerations, I think we talked a little bit about benches and picnic tables. With regards to the bike repair station, there's basically two components to it, 4.5 foot stand and then a 3-foot bike pump for those who need air. We've been working closely with Michelle and Parks and Recs on this, and then have been in contact with Mike at Firehouse, who's interested in being involved. It would also need a cement foundation, for which we would then either put some gravel or wood chips or around something to kind of have for people to stand on and get out of the muck and mud if it might be wet. And then there was discussion around signage. Any background on that? What would the sign say? Do we need a sign? Minimalist, I think, trees, picnic tables, bike repair station could suffice. Thoughts on that? Input?
Would there be parking there?
There's already the gravel that is there, that's sitting there, right?
So is there signage that says it's okay to park there?
No.
All right. So people don't know right now.
Yeah, what did,
Yes, we would encourage street parking.
overnight parking, right? Yeah.
Yeah, day parking, yes.
For events, it's one thing, but.
Correct.
Just a little, feedback with I'm all for planting as many trees as we possibly can here, but to me, it feels like there's so much more that can happen in this space, and trees feel like a permanent thing to kind of, I don't know, because maybe someday we want to put a playground there, or like they said, parking for Canal, all that sort of stuff. Picnic tables and benches can always be moved, but I would just be cautious about how many trees we actually put in there, just so we can further develop the lot if we ever want to, is my only thinking on that. Unless we are committed to it just being an open lot with trees and that sort of thing. Because I always thought this could be a great spot for a playground or some other things there.
Okay.
It's just my thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I got another one. Is DCNR's approval because it's abuts the state park? Is that why?
Could you say that question again?
Their right of way is there.
Is DCNR's approval needed because it abuts the state park? Yeah. Is that why? Okay.
Do you have any information on that? Because I really didn't know much about that. Is that, to what extent?
I think it has to do with the fact that there's an access to the canal, I think is what leads to the DCNR approval. I do think there is a restriction on this property that it be used as open space. I'll take a look at it. Within reason, you would be able to obviously put some infrastructure in there, but I'd have to take a look to see what improvements are permitted. But this plan was obviously in line with that, but if we're looking at a playground or something else, I'll have to check and see what.
I don't think we are looking.
No, I was just.
I know.
I just floated that to just say if we wanted to do something in the future.
What did you say, a bed and breakfast?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Hotel.
So I'm just
Hotel?
looking at what the parking lots
Yardley
on
Hotel.
Black Rock Road have. I don't know if,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
it's just a
good example.
DCNR sign that they could put up on their property just to be like, hey, this is an official access to the canal, so it doesn't look like a random utility field. And then they would pay for that sign and we wouldn't have to worry about it. I don't think we have to say parking here, but if it is clearly an access to the canal,
Okay,
and then it looks nice, and they would maintain the sign.
okay. Okay, so from a budget perspective, we got quotes for the various, we got quotes online for the bike repair station and pump, about 2,200. The cement foundation, we got a quote with gravel, wood chips around, is on another 2,200, so about 4,400. The DLNHC Trail Amenities Grant will match 35% up to 5,000. So we'd need to fund 3,250 to reach 5,000, or 2,210 to receive 3,400. So from a cash flow perspective, the grant funds would be received after the completion, and we need to do a press release as well, thanking the DNLHC. Mike at Firehouse Cycles has also offered another contribution. I won't put a dollar amount out there because he's not here to say it. But that would be nice as well. And so we should be, and Parks and Rec has also offered financial assistance in terms of potential picnic tables and benches. So the delta here should be small, which I think could be funded out of capital reserves.
How do these parallel parking spots work with the gravel driveway there?
Which pieces?
The parallel parking spots, there's 4 of them, and they go over the gravel driveway. No? Am I looking at that wrong? They block the access.
I think there was some talk in the past about removing that gravel driveway.
Yeah, there was.
But there has to be access for Pico to get to their equipment some way, which they can go over the grass as well, so it's not blocked.
Yeah, and that easement area is actually shown as sort of wrapping around the property, so we will have to account for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be nice if car access would come where at the corner. So like, for example, I park cars for Canal and they come up this very narrow and then up this very narrow, and cars are trying to come out, but it's really only wide enough for one way, and then we create opportunities, would you agree, for collisions? So if we could have them enter from the main road, I think that would be ideal. Maybe have them access this way.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well,
The only reason why I brought up the idea of a playground is I just feel like we have, as a borough, kind of limited open spaces, like open fields where we could potentially, all we have is the tot lot, and if at any point in the future we want to put a playground somewhere, I think you kind of have this, and then like maybe one or two other locations where you possibly could put it. That was the only reason why I brought that up. I'm not saying that was part of this plan.
It's okay to think ahead and think about things. Thank you for your suggestion. Mr. Woodring, do you have any more?
I don't think so. That was all just to kind of bring people up to speed.
Actually, one other question, sorry, just because this is actually near me. And I use the bike trail a lot. Would the bike thing be on where like the lower area is on it? Because this is a pretty steep grade here. So like, we're thinking down in the low area would be where that would be?
That's right. Yeah, yep. Which is why we'd want, especially if there's, gravel, wood chip, et cetera, to be able to,
Make
where
sure
there
it's-
is. Yeah, yep.
Did you want to complete the session with the last, you were going to talk about the Kramer's?
Kramer's, I think, Pat was gonna.
Oh, you're going to,
gonna take.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Is there more in Kramer?
Sure.
Yeah, there is,
We gave timeline earlier, so I don't know how much more there is.
Yeah, just to follow up, as we've mentioned previously, there's a need to work on this project and get it out to bid so we could get under construction as quickly as possible. So we would like to request council's authorization to bid this project contingent upon design plan document review to occur with Public Works Committee in coordination with the affected property owners. Are there any other questions at this point?
no,
Okay.
I don't see any. How about does the public have any questions? Please. You had your hand up, that's fine.
I just wanted to know, so who are, the only property owner on University Boulevard is the mayor? Is that my understanding?
University Avenue?
That, or whatever street that it's going on? I thought that most of that was in Lower Makefield.
No, it's borough property. It's not the mayor's home. It's another home that work will be done on. And it's within a borough property.
Easement, yeah.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Who had their hand up? I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Stump.
Jared Stump, Yardley Borough resident. Something that was said was talk about the signage at the Yardley Trailhead, and something that I noticed in April was there's actually a sign that's been put up on a post right as you enter on the gravel, like you're going toward the Mary Yardley Bridge before the driveway, that says visitor parking, no overnight parking. So just to bring to y'all's attention, I guess someone from the borough had that put up, so that sign is there.
Could you say what the sign says again, please?
So it says visitor parking, no overnight parking. So I know one of the things that was talked about tonight was we just have street parking, but there is a sign inviting people to come up on the gravel and park there during the day. So just to bring that to y'all's attention, because it seemed like there was some confusion there.
Did we put that up? You did, okay.
That's for the 3 or 4 parking spots.
That's all I have.
Great.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, I mean,
Stump.
they're not marked.
Just a few of them, yeah,
But
for Pico to
people
get
can park
in now,
there.
right?
Yeah, it's not
No,
marked,
it's,
and
people can, the public can park
No,
there.
I mean, the reason that they had them there was so that people, no, Pico could get in? No, I thought that was the whole reason they started that. No? Okay. All right.
yeah, I mean, it's not marked, and it doesn't say how many spots there are, whether you can park on the street or if you got to park on
No.
the street in the grass, so.
What is the intention? Is it for parking along the street, or was that inviting people to park on the property? Because I'm not familiar with that sign.
That was for both, actually.
Okay.
There was concerns that there would be overnight parking there, so we wanted to stop that.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for clarifying that. Did you have anything else, anyone from Public
We need
Works?
to vote on the Kramers, right?
Mm.
We just.
That's what Pat was talking about.
I wanted to ask you to, so how do we handle that? I wasn't in the,
It's just a vote to authorize. Pat, you want to go ahead and
Yeah,
make a motion for what you're asking for?
we'll have to have someone make the motion for him.
You want to go?
Sure. I make a motion that council authorize permission to bid for Kramer's parking lot, stormwater improvements.
Good for you? Thank you. So a motion was made by Councilwoman Howard, seconded by Mr. Menzel.
Okay.
Sorry?
I need to amend the
We're
motion.
going to do an amendment to that?
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking for the amendment, because our project includes both locations. And there's some permitting requirements for the University Drive. So, if we just get permission to move ahead on both of those, at a later date, we could individually bid those out separately, or we could tie those both together without having to come back to council.
Does she have to retract the original?
Okay, so can I just amend it?
Yes, go.
Okay, I
Thank you.
amend my previous motion. The renewed motion is for council to issue permission to bid on the North Main Street, parentheses, Kramer's parking lot, and University Drive stormwater improvement projects.
Thank you. So that's a motion by Councilwoman Howard. Second? Second. Mr. Menzel, thank you. Discussion from the table?
I'd just like to say that the primary costs for these projects are under this PA Small Water Grant. So these are both grant-funded works.
Okay, thank you for saying that. Any other questions from the table? Seeing none from the public? Okay, not seeing any questions from the public. I will ask, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. Nay? Abstain? Okay, passes 6-0. Thank you. Okay, was that the end of your discussion, Mr. Woodring?
I believe so, yep.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
And a second? No discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That was 6-1. Is it? 0, sorry.